Yo, what is up, 90s comic book fans? Gabe is here, and today we are going to take a look, a nice in-depth spotlight review. We're going to go a nice page-by-page look at the incredible Jimlee's X-Men Artist Edition, put out by IDW with some help from Marvel, of course. Scott Williams is a big part of this as well. Scott Dunbeard from IDW did just an amazing, fantastic job. This is a gift to anybody who is a Jim Lee fan, especially of his X-Men run in the 90s. This is it, everybody. This is going to be the starting point of the new branding of the channel. So we're going to take a look at the Artist Edition. And while we're at it, we'll do some great side-by-side comparison using the actual physical comic books. So we'll put these out to the side for now. Trust me, we'll be getting into this as we go along. So no worries. These guys can hang out here for a minute. But for now, let's take a look at the Jim Lee X-Men Artist Edition. Now, I always do this little explanation when it comes down to these Artist Edition videos, just to give everybody an idea of what exactly is an Artist Edition. So an Artist Edition is incredible, I don't know if I could show it here, incredible hardcover book that is full size color, yes, color scans of the original artboards used for when Jim Lee was drawing X-Men. All right, so as you can see here, beautiful. We start out right away with this great image of Magneto here on the inside cover. We got some more great, this is just the, the kind of transfer papers, or like the kind of beginning points of the Artist Edition. This isn't exactly what we're looking for. Credits, shout out again, Scott Dunbeard, all the awesome folks at IDW for putting this together. Just wow, this is going to be incredible. I'm glad you guys showed up. I hope you all enjoy this. Here's the table of contents of the pages that are used and from what issues. So we'll get into it. We're starting at X-Men 248, and we're going all the way to like X-Men number 10 from that magnificent run. Bits and pieces of original art from here and there that we'll see. Here's a great write-up here about art and the passion behind art, written by Scott Williams and his influences and everything that kind of brought him into doing comic books. But let's kind of really just get right into the thick of things. So, like I was saying, this is a full-size 11 by 17 colored scan. What I mean by colors, yes, comic books are drawn black and white. They don't actually color on the actual paper. But the black and white shows you not much you can really see here, too much. You get a little bit of things, but you get to see things like some whiteout, the tape, corrections, the blue line art. When they write the title and the issue of the book, you can see like how things were, the actual real process. If you're a process junkie and you just want to see how original artwork looks, or if you're an original artwork collector yourself, this is really what it's all about, because Jim Lee artwork is not cheap, folks. So let's not fool ourselves. Not cheap. So let's start out here. This is the opening page of X-Men 248, the first X-Men comic from Jim Lee. I have the second print. As you can see, it's the fancier gold foil cover, but it's the second print. It's still cool. First page. So look, here is what it looks like on the printed page with this cool Encino Man advertisement here in the back cover. And as you can see, that's the original art. And here is the page. The printed page as it was in the comic book. Great picture. Great first off image of Wolverine here. This is Jim Lee's probably one of his earlier times getting into the X-Men, drawing Wolverine. He's still kind of learning the body language of the characters and how to draw the characters. And that's what's really cool about these artist editions, that you kind of get to see a progression of somebody huge and amazing like Jim Lee. Everybody has to start from somewhere, right? So a great picture of Wolverine jumping up at you, him getting blasted, all kinds of bullet shots happening through here. Awesome speed lines with the bullets and stuff here, of course. Great stuff in, of course, the original art for it, or the original book of it. Double page spread of the Reavers. Everybody get a good shot of that. Let's take a look how awesome this is. You got the Reavers, Lady Deathstroke here on the Lady Deathstrike here as well. And then what it looks like on the printed page. That's what I wanted to do there in this. I wanted to show the actual printed artifacts of the comic book and compare it to the artwork of the original art. 267 here. Here's early Jim Lee X-Men drawings of one of my favorite X-Men, Gambit. Of course, Gambit showed up in the issue right before this at 266, which Jim Lee did not draw. That was Mike Collins, I believe. But we get this here. You get some Gambit. You get a de-aged young baby Storm. So here's the printed page that we got from here. This is page 4. I'll put it here because this is just video game ad for Black Manta. Really cool. I love the artwork. You see that around the airplane here, some whiteout for some cool effects. I'll flip through the comic book so we can find these pages so we can discuss that a little bit more. Some more cool Gambit on here. You get some great panels of Gambit, some great pages of Storm. Really nice, just the storytelling effect with the ship kind of flying off here and then the airplane taking off here. Really cool. Really, again, it's just really cool to kind of see Jim Lee's kind of style and his storytelling. At such a early, interpretation of his X-Men. Some great storytelling still happening here. Love these X-Men pages, or love these Gambit pages. It's, like I said, he's one of my favorite X-Men. Jim Lee's Gambit is, of course, one of my favorite interpretations of Gambit as well. Love this full body figured image here. So really, not only just the artwork of Jim Lee, but this is I still think this is, I'm going to go back and look at the credits. I think this is Rubenstein Inkins. This is before you get the immaculate team of Scott Williams and Jim Lee. I'm not positive the inkers. I don't know where the title page is here for the credits. I still want to say it's Joe Rubenstein because he did 266. I might be wrong. I might be completely incorrect. I'm sure somebody will bark at me about how ignorant I am for not knowing it. But, that's right. I am ignorant about it. I don't know who inked it. Look at that Bonk ad, everybody. Bonk's Adventures on the TurboGrafx 16. There we go. Still awesome. And with the inking here, I wanted to get to is the inking style is really great. Like the inking here on these blinds, these Venetian blinds is really great. The whiteout is not just only used for corrections. Like here's a big bunch of whiteout here as a correction right here by Storm's leg, but it also kind of gives it a glowing effect for Gambit's powers. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to guess. Maybe it is Scott Williams. She signed this page, so maybe it is Scott Williams doing the ink. And Will Spataccio. I think they were splitting pages at this time. They were splitting the artwork to kind of make it go quicker. They must have been splitting pages when it comes down to the inking. But great work. Whoever did the cool whiteout here, bravo to you. Jim even didn't even send the inking on here as well. Page 24. Again, I mean, this is a heavy, heavy, heavy Gambit issue. I mean, this is the big introduction to Gambit, like this story arc. Really great stuff here. The fighting, him upside down. Another great page here with the hair. And there's a lot of things that you miss on the printed page, so as well. It's cool to see the comparison, but there's a lot of things that you miss in the printing process, because the printing process in these 90s books was so terrible compared to today. I mean, it's all on really flimsy paper. The ink and the coloring isn't always the best. The coloring isn't always, what you see today is a lot of flat color, which I enjoy better because I'm a 90s comics fan, and this is how I consumed comics, and this is what I see in comic books in my head at the time. But really cool inking effect here for the shadow. That's good stuff there. Then we'll move on to what is actually like the start of Jim Lee's run, 268 of Uncanny X-Men. Another just great 2-page spread. Ninjas, 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 ninjas. I'm telling you, Jim Lee draws the best ninjas. I love how he draws the ninjas with kind of like the negative shadowing. Great effects for ninjas. He draws the best ninjas. Great Captain America jumping through here with the shields, breaking up the swords. I really wish, this is page 2 and 3, and I'll get to it in the comic. I really wish they had page 1, that beautiful splash of Captain America jumping at you with the sea of ninjas below him. That would have been beautiful. That would have been a mind-blowing page. But these are the kind of pages that are hard to come by. People just have them kind of probably locked away in safety deposit boxes to be forgotten forever. But that's how it is. But good thing we still get what we get when it comes on to this artist edition. Because this is the page I'm talking about. I wish we saw. I wish we had the original art for this in this book. But it is what it is. But then we do get this double page that we're looking at here. Got some Wolverine, more ninja action, please. More ninjas. More ninjas, please. Great seeing Wolverine, Captain America teaming up. Over on this side, I love this Black Widow. This is the Black Widow I grew up with the bodysuit and the high collar. You see here, page 8 in this issue. Again, this isn't like colored on the page. This is I don't know what the term is for the type of like overlay that they have to cut out to make that kind of gray effect for Black Widow's costume. But it's another really cool process that you kind of get to see, and how you could see how they had to do different things to kind of give her that texture on her outfit. And again, cool storytelling with Black Widow firing off of her little rocket launchers here, and her sliding down the building. This cool ninja effect here with the chain that wraps her up. It's all really great. Great fun story effect. Lots of cool, great action. The glare off of the ninja blade here, off of the sword, with the kind of energy coming off of her wristband. More cool glare here, so you kind of get that triple glare effect there. That's cool. That you kind of get to see there. Really menacing. Great Wolverine. Psylocke, I mean, this isn't quite my version of Psylocke that Jim Lee does, but he's getting there. Same with the Wolverine. He's getting there to those iconic interpretations and style of the characters. And even here, where there's really no like action or any kind of like kablam or action or anything that's really kind of exciting on the page, other than, you know, Wolverine just chugging down this beer, but just these talking heads, still interesting effects with the shadowing here. This angle here, this face is really great. Angling of this face here is really great. I mean, even though it's the back of this guy's head, you still get these cool effects here, and then the people in the background and the hashing around here, all really good stuff. And again, that's the thing with the art. You miss a lot of stuff that's not on the printed page. Like the hashing here looks great, but then in the printing, it's kind of muddled because of the coloring and the way the printing worked. Same with the kind of hashes here for that shadowy effect. It's kind of lost here. Yeah, it's all almost just solid black. It almost looks like on the printed page. A lot of art from 268. I'm glad that was discovered. That's good stuff. And you got them going to 1941. Kind of a flashback tale. You know what? Let me just stop for 2 seconds. This brings back, this is memories right here. We used to be able to order comics this way, where they were all listed out with their prices. Cash on delivery, where you would order these books off of East Coast Comics. They send them to you. That's cool. And here we have the last page of the book here. Even here, Homage Studio. Jimlee, Los Patacios, Scott Williams. That's the start of some amazing, amazing times in comics there. Now, can't go wrong with this. Can't go wrong with Rogue. You know, nude Rogue covered up by the splashes and the bubbles, but you can see just all the great artwork on here. The autograph here by Chris Claremont, Jim Lee. I want to say that's Art T-Barrett's autograph there. There's even a Stan Lee autograph on here. That's interesting. I don't have this issue. I don't have 269, so I can't show you guys the printed page, but we could enjoy good old Outback Rogue. And these monsters with the Miss Marvel on here too. Great Miss Marvel pages. This is the issue where Miss Marvel and Rogue, I think they had their first fight since Rogue stole her powers. It's great Wolverine, totally excuse me on that one. Great Magneto page here. That Jim Lee said in a video, he still owns this page. It's still in his possession. Never got rid of this one. .270 started the Extinction Agenda. This is cool because you don't get to see Jim do a lot of Warlock from the New Mutants. Well, if you know the story, nobody gets to do a lot of Warlock after this story arc. This is a great page here. Great action with the lines. I mean, you can see, like, in this day and age, anime and manga was really seeping into comic fandom and comic fans. So you get a lot of this. A lot of great action here. Very manga influence for sure if you've seen anything like Akira. You see, a lot of Jim Lee's influences in this stuff too, like John Burns and Frank Miller, especially those ninjas. That's very Frank Miller looking. A lot of Art Adams too in his work. Here we go, 271. Part 4 of Extinction Agenda. Got a great That great cutout stuff around here again. Again, I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, I have no idea. This image though here, this is an image that you see Jim use a lot. Like if you look at his like first like Hush issue of Batman, this brings back a lot of memories from that. Like you use a lot of the same kind of storytelling with the gun here. Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. It's Justice League where he did this kind of same kind of layout. I'll show you it. I'll put an image up so I don't sound like I'm crazy, because I did stop to go look and I couldn't find. I found my Batman Hush issue, but that's not what it was. It was Justice League. Now that I think about it. A great image here. It had the red line here. That's the outline of the cityscape. These pages are literally just nothing but just iconic images. Iconic images this whole time. Just rocking it every single page. Wolverine slashing page with a great brown and yellow costume. Yeah, with the red belt. That's what I'm talking about. Getting the Psylocke look down a little bit more too, I think. Yep. Love this Wolverine versus Cameron Hodge towards the end of the book. There it is. See Scott Williams' master inking on the hairy arms and chest here of Wolverine. Psylocke, there's a great laser ray effect going on. There's a great group shot here. Look at that. This is one of those pages that is just like a holy grail of pages. Not just because you get like basically the entire cast of X-Men with Gambit on here, or Cable, Gambit, Cannonball. You get Marvel Girl in that outfit, Archangel, Great Beast. But just the artwork on the ceiling here, like the crown molding, like design of the ceiling is all just incredible stuff. I don't know. I'm not too keen on Jimlee's Cable at the time here, but here's a great sequence here with the mind control, and it's Wolverine versus Archangel. These two pages are fantastic. I hope whoever owned these pages owned both of these, because you need to have both of these pages. Some more Wolverine slashing, and then just down here these three silhouette panels where it's just to the death of Wolverine and Archangel. I wish I had this issue on hand. Man, I wish I had this issue so bad now, just to look at this. Look at this. And some of this ink in here, I don't know if you could see, it's kind of purple, like it's faded to purple. That must have been Sharpies that they were using, some kind of Sharpie markers at the time. Now that's what I call a fight. Some Jimlee dinosaur action with Kazar here, Kazar. There's another issue I wish I had. I love just this cover of Rogue in the Savage Land outfit. Yeah, that's good stuff. Some Nick Fury with the gun. Lots of word bubbles. Good old Chris Claremont with his long dialogue, but it works. It all still flows. Back when characters could still smoke. Every panel of Nick Fury, he's got a stogie. And I love the design here on the undergarment, lingerie, whatever this is. Again, just the noodling, just the small little effects here. That's great stuff. I bet it just doesn't look right on the printed page. And here we go. Something you don't see very often, Gambit in the blue and yellow. It's only in like a couple issues I think that's ever really happened. And this Deathbird, like, come on. I was kind of burying the lead, but this Deathbird splash, forget about it. And then all the paste ups, it's all yellow here from all the old glue and paste ups that they used. But this center figure here, that's gorgeous. Just all the cabling through the arms and around her body, the headdress, the wings and the feathers on the cape. Man, just this is master craftsman stuff, 100%. And then here's 275. I can show you guys some 275 action. 275 is a fold out cover though. Bam. Starjammers. Comparison artwork here for the art for the original with Deathbird. Wolverine and the claws. Really great stuff. Mega Man 3, I remember that game. I drew this cover as a kid. Here's a big reveal page of who was underneath that helmet. Spoilers if you haven't read this 30-year-old book. But that's Professor X pulling off the helmet here. Really, you can see some of the Art Adams like influence through like all this really rich detail. And there's that page. I mean, even these group shots, it's still really great. I mean, the helicopters here, very like, this is very much like a Vietnam era movie with the helicopters and the tree line and the soldiers inside there. Nick Fury being total badass, standing by the open door, of course, with the stogie. There you go. It'll take me a second to find this page. Excuse me. I just love doing these comparisons. I just love seeing how the shading with the cutout creates this kind of effect in the face versus this kind of effect where it's just plain old black ink shading. And the hand-drawn, this isn't like a paste up or like a cutout of the onomatopoeia words. It's actually drawn on the page. in this page of the book here with Gladiator. Kind of see how not a lot of detail here because it's Gladiator under this energy source here from the Shi'ar. You can see how they do that effect, where it's really limited art style, inking, limited lines. That cool. I love that cool shading, half all black effect here on Gambit. The Jubilee earrings, always cool. You kind of lose some of the detail in the printed page, of course. It's issue 276 here. It's 276. It's an Ninja Turtle serial. That's not what we're here for. Again, just good old comparison of the art. Jubilee art here too. Love the bullets effects here and the effect here of the speed idea of how quickly Gambit's dodging all these bullets and flipping around. But this page is really, this panel here. Again, in the printed page, it's really kind of dark and you lose a lot of cool effects to it. But you see how it looks here. Gambit throw those energy cards, make that boom effect, blowing everybody up. Now here's one of my favorite books. This is probably one of the coolest covers of all time here, 277. Let's take a look at the artwork on this with Storm up against such a great stuff here. Storm up against the Starjammers. Yeah, it took me a while to think of their name, excuse me. I love just the inking. Or here it looks very more solid. Here with these blasts from Corsair's gun. But it's really more sketchy lines. The hashtags, the hashing is a little bit more. You can see that a little bit more defined, so it's not so close. Better up on the printed page where it's not shrunk down. And then this is a cutout sound effect. This page with all the wiring and circuitry on the face here. That's how it's shown on here. Just so much to look at. So much. Like there's some staining. I don't know where that came from. Blue line. I don't know if you guys can see the blue line effect on here or not, but you can see that Jim had a slightly different pose for Gladiator here, where his leg was kind of down here more and the arm is back a little bit more. Might have been a little bit more dynamic this way. Big Gambit Wolverine fight. Final page of 277. Love this issue. Love this Shadow King back here. This Colossus. That's really interesting. That's really great stuff there. All right, so that's the end of the Uncanny X-Men stuff. So here, you guys want to see something great? I don't know if I can show the whole thing because this is too cool. I don't have the space to show everything, I think, for this. But here is a fold-out in this artist edition of the 4 connecting covers of X-Men #1. See if I can bring this up a little bit more so you guys can get a chance to see the whole thing here. Here's the 4 books that became the highest selling comic book of all time. Well, like mainstream comic book. Was it something like 9 million sales? And I can't see, here you go with the Gambit and the Psylocke. That's my style Psylocke, my style Rogue as well. The Wolverine, my style Cyclops. This is definitely the jimlee Cyclops with the belt across the chest here. Kind of really get to see the X-Men logo carved out on the side of the mountain. And of course, this Magneto cover is probably one of the greatest looking images of all time. What an image that's always homaged and swiped and used on other comics. I only have with me this one. This is my original copy because Gambit was my favorite X-Men. I loved Rogue and I loved Psylocke. There's a comparison to that. All right. And then here's another fold out of, I think this was a promotional image for like a poster. It's kind of early on because you can see the Wolverine is kind of not on style check or Psylocke not on style check with his normal, what it looks like his Wolverine and Psylocke later on. Rogue's in that green and black costume. Gateway in the back. That's not something you see very often, but this close-up image of Colossus is great. See just all the great. One of the things that's really hard for drawing, and not that I'm an artist or anything like that, but it's to do different types of like wood versus does this actually look like metal with the shine? And that's really great how it's done. Where it really looks like the different types of elements and different types of like textures to really make it look like that. Looks like rock. That looks like shiny metal. You know, this all looks like hair. All right, there's another promo piece. I think this is never used like as a cover or anything like that. But it was eventually, I know the only time I've really seen it used like printed wise was on the jimlee Chris Claremont Volume 1 X-Men Omnibus. All right, let's get into some X-Men #1 because this is mine's signed by Jimlee. Just bragging. These are images. This entire X-Men #1. So much of this is permanently burnt into my brain forever. And there's a lot. I think they might have like most of the issue in here, to be honest. This 2-page spread of Magneto on Asteroid M. Again, this is nothing but iconic images in this issue. Nothing but iconic images. A big close-up of Magneto's head. You can see the whiteout on the nose here. Some of the changing in dialogue or spelling of words in the dialogue that you can see were changed in They put an overlay of different words on there. Again, look at these ads of how you can buy comic books. That's a Jean Grey image that's always going to be with me. Always going to be with me. Some more just this entire first like half of the book of issue number 1 is really just a big training sequence. But what a great way to get introduced to all the characters, get introduced to how the grounds work at the school, how these characters have to kind of team up with one another to figure out what's going on, how to fight these things. And Colossus, man, forget about it. You're not going to find a better, more iconic image of Cyclops, or of Colossus than this one here. And then the scene of Psylocke, Gambit, Wolverine in the sewer. Again, just, I remember seeing people draw this in school all the time. This image of Wolverine. Just, I don't know if this is all the same collector that has like all these pages, but wow, what a just impressive collection to have this kind of storage, or have these kind of things in your possession. This image of Wolverine claws coming up with Professor X. Just Wolverine just being the total introduction here, being the total badass that he is, coming up from the sewers, still with the robot on his back, still trying to get at him. And nope, there is no stopping this machine. This killing machine. That is Wolverine. He will stop at nothing to get his target there. Flip through this a little bit more quicker and get to more of the bigger images, I guess. Don't want to make this video too long. The big fight with Magneto here, now that they're on Asteroid M. It's Gambit Beast team up. I remember this. This is another one of those images I'll never forget, because I thought Magneto just put this machinery from his base. I thought he put that through Beast's stomach as a kid. I was like, whoa, because I thought this stuff was all coming out through his stomach. This Gambit page. I remember drawing this as a kid too. I used to just really draw and copy comics a lot as a kid, especially this stuff. This Psylocke kick to the head is amazing. This here, where it's this big Wolverine slash. You get to see this later on. I think in X-Men 25, where Magneto pulls out Wolverine's adamantium. It's the same style of attack where it goes, Wolverine wasn't holding back. That was a killing attack. Like you see that again in X-Men 25. This is cool with the red line that shows off the beam and how they had that kind of prepared to separate that. That's with the lighting versus, yeah, good stuff. This is like a huge, like double-sized book, and it's just every page is just unbelievable. Get the Wolverine up against Corsair. Just falling, just the storytelling of them falling here. All that stuff's great. And of course, the last page of the book. Look at that. Is that? Take a look at that for issue 1. All the blue team. This is my X-Men here, all on this page. This is my X-Men team. That's my Magneto. This is everything you wanted in the X-Men at this point. And this is a crazy, crazy way. Page 47, crazy way to just end issue 1. Of course, another great Magneto close-up. What's up, Sonic? Just all the red lines here that they put for the big, massive shine off the helmet. All the details here. Again, to make this look metal. There's a lot of work put into here. This dot pattern. This is something you don't see a lot in comics anymore, or even really back at this time, which is the dot patterning. Here we are in X-Men 3 now here. Cyclops taking these pows to the shoulder. These seem to be a little bit more scarce to get these issues, but wow, issue 4. We're coming up on issue 4, first Omega Red. And again, here's just kind of that typical, after a big, huge ordeal, battle to the death in the X-Men. It's always that issue where now they're just, usually they're playing baseball, but here they are playing basketball. Gambit possibly cheating because his mutant ability is agility and natural sports athleticism. And you get Wolverine who slices the basketball pole. And Gambit charging up the basketball as a retaliation. Yeah, that's the only pages from 4. 5, one of my favorites. One of my favorite covers of all time. See, to me, I always thought of Wolverine as not bone claws, but them being embedded in his arm and coming out with pistons. You'll see the original art for this. You see what I'm talking about. But yeah, Maverick, love Maverick. One of my favorite characters, especially because I remember him arriving on the scene during these issues. Like, who's this mysterious man with this metal mask soldier who has obvious connections to Wolverine, and why does he want Wolverine so bad? That's the only pages from 5. Again, these are just getting scarce. Just isn't the kind of thing that you see lugging around. Page 1 of 5 here. Page 15, some awesome rogue action here. Psylocke under mind control, using her psychic knife, using that on Rogue. Great stuff here to see that. And this is already after, this is a John Byrne era. I mean, John Byrne was right next one, because I don't think Claremont lasted after issue 3. Love this image here. This is a really great idea and source for original art, because you get to see this image and then you get to see this image that's all like a different kind of cutout in different style. And then another just great image. This is page 1 of issue 7. Just great image of Wolverine. Great. Again, they're using just the cutout effects. I guess were really expensive from my understanding. This paper they use to cut this stuff out. But that's an awesome image of a captured Wolverine. That Psylocke image is great. That's always going to be burnt in my head. I love that image of her standing up to Omega Red. And then Shinobi Shaw taking her out, holding her hostage there. Good stuff. Really cool effect. It's always cool seeing the different effects they use, and they do Gambit's energy coming off the cards. Issue 8, great Bishop and Gambit issue here at 8. This is the issue where it made me hate Bishop because he was trying to kill Gambit the whole time. But that's a great Storm Bishop together. Let's see if I can turn this up, because there's a 2-page panel here for issue 9. Oops. That's not going to work. Yep. Can't show you that way, but I can show it to you this way. The brood possessed Ghost Rider. Jimlee doing Ghost Rider is so cool. You never really got to see that again after this issue, after issue 9. Issue 10 with the long shot. It's kind of really cool. The shattering of the panels, and it's all marker because it's all turning to purple. All right, now at this point, this is the cool part too. This is really great. If you like interiors, you got the interiors. But if you're a fan of covers, that's what's next is covers for 258. And then of course the 268 cover here, which that's a big book or a big cover. That original art I think recently sold at Heritage for like upwards of like 300 grand. $269, $274. Again, this is a great one with Rogue in the outfit, hugged up with Magneto. Awesome Fury here. Love the way Jimlee does tech and weapons. $276 is a great cover. No background or anything. You don't need it when you just got Wolverine there and Professor X. And my favorite cover. Love every second about this cover. Every single thing about this cover I love. Number 4 I showed earlier, but there it is up against the original. Number 5, again, like I said, you can see the pistons in his arm. Love this cover. I always still associate Wolverine with having pistons in his arm to eject and push out those blades. Cover number 6. I've seen this in person. This hangs in the office of Scott Dunbeard at IDW. I've been to his offices down there before, and he has that hanging on his wall. Cover 8 with the little Ghost Rider in the corner. And then 11. We're going to get any interiors from 11, but we got the cover. The Maverick Files. I love Maverick. I wish he was a more popular character. I know he's back in the comics now, but I wish there was more to him. I'm not sure where this image is from. I'm going to have to just assume it's a promotional image. Here's I think it's Jimlee's first, one of his first works when he was doing Alpha Flight. And over here we have the cards. So it seems like the cards were doing 2 at a time. So here's the Beast card. Maybe they had 2 on the same piece of artwork with the Beast, and then with the character profile. You see where he's at versus intelligence and fighting ability. There's the Wolverine card. I'm not sure. This might be an unused image. I don't know where that's from. I'm not sure where that's from. Here's a Cannonball. Cannonball is way different compared to the artwork here. I don't know if they re-inked it or they use a completely different image or what, but that's not the same image whatsoever. Even on the back. Like that character, this is not even a dumb character profile there. That's a totally different image. I actually like this one better, to be honest. This one's kind of dark. And of course the Wolverine, iconic Wolverine image there. Who didn't have this card as a kid, right? This was everybody's favorite card. Lockheed. X-Men Gold. Storm. Farrell. Farrell has like this weird like 3D computer coloring background. It's totally different than that. Or there is no background on here. Yeah, I think they would have just could have just left that alone. Bishop card, Boom Boom card, the Rogue card. Awesome Magneto image. I mean, no one's going to be able to outdraw Magneto like Jimlee. Ever. That's a done deal. Sabretooth. Mutant Liberation Front. All of Rob Liefeld's characters. When they would form up later to join, or to create Image. And that's it, everybody. I think that's it for here. Great profile here on Jimlee. But again, everybody, thank you so much for joining in. That Wolverine image, I'll never forget that image. Never forget this image of him in the sewer in his hand on that box in the guardrail. Never forget that image. All right, guys, thank you so much for dropping in and checking this out. If it's your first time here, thumbs up, subscribe, share the video with all your friends. This is a great chance to run through some memories and see some original art from such an iconic time that really lays out the magnificent career that Jimlee had. So I'm going to end it here. I think we've had enough time together. Stay in touch with the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more profiles for 90s comics. I think starting with, how about starting off with Stephen Platt's Moon Knight? That's coming up next. So don't miss out on that. Thank you again, everybody. Have a wonderful day.